Neighbors are freaking nosy. I hear keys rumbling out there. I know they waiting for the elevator, but I feel like they be like trying to figure out what a person is saying inside of the apartment. Anyway. Hi, Living Violet. I know it's been a while, so please forgive me. Like during this pandemic, just getting out content and stuff like that, I've been a little bit delayed. So anyway, I'm coming on here because I was just watching T.I. and Tiny's Family and Friends Hustle. I think that's what it's called. And Cynthia Brown Long was on there. She was on the radio station with T.I. You know how T.I. has a podcast now called Expeditiously. And she was talking about human trafficking and her own experience with her sentencing. Now, if you don't know who Cynthia Brown is, she was a 16-year-old that had killed her abuser, and then she had to serve many years in prison. Once she was exonerated or released, she served 15 years in prison. She was like 31 years old. And the one thing that she mentioned that resonated with me, unfortunately, was Romeo Pimp. And I had looked it up to see what that was. And it's also called Lover Boy. And she said that, you know, some people don't get kidnapped when it comes to sex trafficking and human trafficking. Sometimes it's just they're a Romeo Pimp. I'm trying to adjust my volume because I live in an apartment and neighbors are freaking nosy. I hear keys rumbling out there. I know they waiting for the elevator, but I feel like they be like trying to figure out what a person is saying inside of the apartment. Anyway, and back to it. Yes, my experience when I was working at the mall. I was about 18 years old. This is not like my first time having like a encounter that could have been like a human trafficking, sex trafficking type of experience or result. And it's all about being vigilant. And I'm going to go with two different stories. The first one I'm going to talk about that I thought about when Cynthia Brown talked about the Romeo Pimp. So I was like about size 4 or 5, 6. I was about, let's see, I had to be about 21 years old maybe. This is when I was working at the mall at a urban retail store. And I went ahead and was in a mood to go and get me like a steak sandwich, like from Charlie's Steakery. And as I was on my way there during my lunch break, it was this man that stopped me. He was probably like in his early 30s, maybe mid 30s at the latest, or at the oldest, probably in his 40s. I just remember that he had this light colored outfit on. He had like this tannish looking slacks on, like dress slacks with like some yellow type gaiters. His hat matched his slacks, and then he had like a silk like shirt that was buttoned up, and you know, it was like white with like probably the yellow details and stuff like that. He had like gold accessories on, like a gold watch and stuff like that. So it was kind of evident in a way by the way he dressed that he probably was what he was, but he didn't approach me in like in a romantic fashion, even though I thought that's what it was. So he was like, excuse me, sunshine, and I'm like, oh goodness. And I just was like, let me go ahead and entertain it, because usually when guys slow me down around that time, I just go ahead and just give them a little attention, let them down easy. or if I were interested, we would just exchange numbers. Back then, we didn't have social media and Facebook and all that stuff. I can still hear the keys out here. What the? They are nosy as hell. And now the elevator just coming. The elevator just shut. Anyway, let me go back. I'm not even going to edit it so you all can hear the madness. I may edit it, I may edit it. So anyway, when I turned around, he was like, "Hey, Sunshine, let me give you my business card." He was like, "I would like to take you out shopping, no strings attached." I was like, "No strings attached?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm not here to try to get your number or anything. I just want to take you shopping, no strings attached." So I took his card, and I just went ahead and went and got my sandwich. I know from my rearing, from, my grandmother, my mother, the women around me, that nothing is no strings attached. Especially with a man that was dressed well the way that he was. I think that if I was like in a vulnerable state where my self-esteem was hindered, or if I didn't have anything going for myself, or if I was desperate, in a desperate situation, I say that just in a weak area or weak space, a vulnerable space, because, in certain points of our life, we all go through like weak areas in our lives, or vulnerable areas in our lives. I say vulnerability because that's exactly what it is, but it feels like a weakness. I think that's the reason why I'm identifying it as a weakness, but it's actually a vulnerability. So yeah, that experience, I feel that if I went ahead and took hold of that information that he was trying to get me to latch on to, it would have been a different situation. Now, the second story time that I have, it's not like, if it doesn't fit into the lover boy or the Romeo Pimp, phrase per se. And I noticed that also this is like technical terms. I think that federal agencies use these type of terms when it comes to human trafficking and sex trafficking. But this one, when I was serving overseas, me and my roommate, we took a cruise. And this was like a Mediterranean cruise. And it stopped in a few countries, and one of those countries being Italy. Mind you, this was a little bit after the movie Taken was filmed, and I truly believe that with that movie, along with the training that we had about trafficking, because we had to have that trafficking, that we had to have that trafficking training because we were overseas, just to protect ourselves, or just to be aware of it if we see anybody else fall victim to that. And that movie Taken, seeing that movie, really, I feel like it saved my life. I really feel like it saved our life. So instead of paying for an excursion for our cruise in Naples, a lot of people went ahead and took a shuttle to Pompeii, which is, I heard, was like an hour away or something from Naples. We just decided to explore Naples while we were there, Naples, Italy. It was a bunch of trader tables all over the place selling things, a lot of buildings. I'm not trying to downplay or be derogatory towards Naples, but it was a lot of garbage, a lot of places. It was a large city. No, I don't remember any grass. It was a concrete city. It was like a concrete city with a lot of buildings. And as we were going through the buildings, we were just exploring the town, and finding some inexpensive clothes at some of the tables and stuff like that, and some sunglasses. And I remember before or earlier, we went into this one cafe, and it was like a coffee shop or whatever. And I know that one of the things that I loved was ice, which is European ice cream. Well, in Germany, it's called EIS, ice. But in Italy, it's gelato. So we were passing up this one table, and this European man, probably like a Middle Eastern descent, but he was like a European man, olive skin, dark hair. He pointed at us. He was like, hey you. He was like, so what's your name? I don't remember what name that I gave him, but I think I gave him a different version of my name. And then he said, are you American? We couldn't respond by saying that we were American. And then also from our training, they forewarned us about not identifying yourself as that, because they see you as a soft target or vulnerable, and they can zone in on you for that. And I forgot, I would just say that we're just visiting here. So I said that we wanted to find a gelato place. Gelato, because he spoke English, so we was able to we didn't have to necessarily speak it, know how to speak Italian to him, because he understood what we were saying and everything. So he said, yes, I know where a place is. And he took us, we followed him down the block, and it's very crowded on the streets. It's during the daytime, probably in the afternoon. I was like, if anything go down, and then it's many witnesses, many eyewitnesses. So he walked us down into this quaint shop, red and white shutters or whatever it's called, like awnings. And we went inside, and he stood on the outside of the door, and I looked around. I scanned the cafe, and I was like, girl, I actually said my roommate's name. I was like, girl, they don't have no ice cream here. We got to get out of here. The guy was posted outside of the door with his cell phone. And I was like, we got to get out of here. So we snuck past him, and I guess he didn't really recognize that we were walking out. And we just tried to blend into the crowd and walk as fast as we could. So, yes, human trafficking is real. Sex trafficking is real. I'm not a victim to it, but I could have been. If I wasn't vigilant and if I wasn't really paying attention to the signs. And anybody can fall for all that type of stuff. But to all my sisters out there, because it could be any of us, and I know that there's a lot of minority women, especially black women, that have fell victim to human trafficking and sex trafficking. Just be careful out there, y'all. Be knowledgeable. Do your research. Look at some YouTube videos, because we got to keep ourselves safe. And I know that the rhetoric is going on, or the quote is going around about what Malcolm X said about the black woman. And it says that the black woman is the most unprotected and the most disrespected. And when the protection is lacking, and I'm not saying that we're not protected by family or those that love us and everything else, but in those times where you are most vulnerable, or just going about life, be careful. Be aware of your surroundings and know what to look for to keep yourself safe. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to keep this unedited. And until next time, I will see you in the next videos. Bye. Oh, also, thank you to all of you that subscribed. I am up to 115 people, which is a great feat for me, or it's a great feat for us. So I just hope that you continue to like my my content. I hope that you all comment in the bottom about what kind of content that you would like to see from me. But otherwise, I'm going to try to edit as much videos as I have right now to get out onto this channel. So until next time, y'all, be blessed, be safe. I know that we're protesting right now. I mean, well, everybody is out there fighting for civil freedoms and getting their voice heard. The viewing of George Floyd was going on today. I seen that on a news channel. Yeah. For the state of the world today, I just hope that you all stay safe. Keep our nation in prayer, keep our world in prayer as we are continuing to fight against this pandemic, and also our civil rights and civil liberties in America. And just stay safe. Peace and blessings.